3 weeks ago, I found out my wife was having an affair with her boss. Not through some dramatic scene or catching them in the act, but through something much simpler. We had just finished being intimate around midnight. She got up to take a shower, leaving her phone charging in the kitchen. When it started buzzing repeatedly while she was washing off our intimacy, curiosity got the better of me. The messages were from someone saved as Office Emergency Contact. Cute, really cute. The texts had nothing to do with emergencies. They were filled with, "I miss you," "Can't wait to see you again," and "Next hotel meetup" messages. 6 months. 6 months of lies, excuses about working late, and weekend team-building events that suddenly made perfect sense. Now here's what most guys would do. They'd storm into the bathroom, waving the phone, demanding explanations, maybe throwing things. But that's exactly what she'd expect. That's what she'd be prepared for, and that approach, it gives her all the power. She gets to cry, play the victim, twist the story, and somehow make it my fault. No, not this time. I sat there quietly, scrolling through months of evidence, while she sang in the shower like she didn't have a care in the world. Every "I love you" she sent him while kissing me goodnight. Every lie about staying late at work when she was in a hotel room. Every time she looked me in the eye and lied without blinking. By the time she got out, I had already screenshotted everything and sent it to myself. Then I placed her phone right back where she left it. She had no idea. The next morning, she kissed me goodbye and said, "Working late again? Another emergency project." I just smiled, told her I understood, and kept playing the role of the trusting husband, while planning something much more satisfying than a screaming match. It took me 2 days to track down his wife. Social media made it surprisingly easy. Her name was Amanda. Beautiful family photos on their company website, 2 kids, a happy home, and no clue what her husband was really doing on his business trips. The first call was tricky. How do you tell a stranger that her husband is cheating? You start with facts, not emotions. I introduced myself, explained the connection, and asked if she'd noticed any changes in his behavior lately. There was a long silence. Then she said yes. The weekend trips, the late-night texts, the sudden interest in fitness and new clothes. She'd noticed, but she'd been convincing herself there was an innocent explanation. There always is, until there isn't. When I offered to send her the screenshots, she agreed immediately. 20 minutes later, my phone rang. She had read everything, twice. Her voice was shaky, but determined. She said, "I want to help you confront them, together." So we made a plan, simple, perfect. She'd come to my house at exactly 6:30 on Friday evening. My wife always got home by 6 how. The timing would be flawless. What if she denies everything? Amanda asked. She will, I said. That's why you'll have your own evidence. Phone records, hotel receipts, everything. Friday came. My wife got home early, 5:55 p.m. She was in a good mood, probably thinking she was successfully juggling 2 relationships without either of us knowing. She even suggested ordering takeout and watching a movie. Quality time, she said, while probably texting her lover under the table. At 6:25, I told her I was expecting someone to stop by to pick up some work documents. Nothing unusual. She barely looked up from her phone. When Amanda's car pulled into the driveway at exactly 6:30, I felt a strange calm. No anger, no nerves. Just the quiet satisfaction that comes when you know justice is about to arrive. I walked outside and greeted Amanda. She looked nervous but focused. "We'd rehearsed this moment. Ready?" I asked quietly. She nodded. "More than ready. He's been lying to me for months. Time for some truth." We walked in together. I called out, "Honey, my colleague is here." My wife looked up from her phone, and I saw it happen. Confusion, then alarm, then pure panic. She wasn't expecting to see another woman walk in beside me. "Who is this?" she demanded, crossing her arms. "This," I said, smiling, "is Amanda. She's been wanting to meet you for quite some time." Her eyes darted between us, searching for answers that didn't exist. "Meet me? Why?" Amanda stepped forward. Her smile was sharp. "Because my husband talks about you constantly." The color drained from my wife's face. She stammered, I don't know what you're talking about." That's when I delivered the line I'd been waiting 3 weeks to say. Actually, honey, you do. Amanda is your boss's wife, and she's very interested in discussing those midnight text messages you've been sending her husband. Silence. Absolute silence. Then the sound of her phone slipping from her hand and shattering on the floor. For someone who had been so confident in her lies, she sure fell apart fast when faced with the truth. The air in that room turned heavy, like someone had sucked all the oxygen out. My wife stood frozen, her mouth opening and closing, but no sound came out. Her face said it all. Guilt, panic, disbelief, all mixed together. Amanda didn't waste time. She reached into her purse and pulled out a folder, thick with papers and photos. Hotel receipts, screenshots, call logs, all neatly printed. She placed them on the table, then looked straight at my wife and said, "I'm not here to scream. I'm not here to fight. I just want you to see the wreckage you and my husband caused." My wife whispered, "This isn't what it looks like." Classic. Amanda let out a sharp laugh. "Oh, please. You two checked into the Marriott 3 times last month. You used his corporate card. You texted him at 4 a.m. Something came up, can't stay long. You told my husband you loved him while sleeping next to yours." The tears started then. But I'd seen those tears before, the kind that appear when she's cornered, not when she's sorry. I didn't interrupt. I wanted her to hear it, every word of truth echoing off the walls she'd built with lies. Amanda turned to me next. "I'm sorry you had to find out this way." "You didn't deserve it," I nodded. "Neither did you." Then I looked at my wife. She tried to speak. Something about loneliness, about how I'd been distant lately, how work pressure made her feel unseen. I didn't even blink. "Don't do that," I said quietly. "Don't rewrite the story. You didn't cheat because you were lonely. You cheated because it was convenient, because you could." Her tears slowed. She realized she couldn't talk her way out of this one. Amanda stood, straightened her jacket, and said, "For what it's worth, I'm filing for divorce. My kids will know the truth. You might want to think about what happens next in your own house." And with that, she left. No shouting, no drama. Just quiet power. The kind that comes from knowing you took your dignity back. My wife and I sat there for a long time in silence. She finally whispered, "Please don't leave me." I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I once trusted with everything. The woman who turned our marriage into a cover story. "I already did," I said softly. "The moment you chose him over us." Then I stood up, grabbed my car keys, and walked out. No suitcase, no big scene. Just the calm certainty that some endings don't need fireworks, just closure. That night, I checked into a small hotel near the beach. For the first time in months, I slept without wondering who she was texting. Over the next few days, word spread quietly through our friends. She tried to paint it as a misunderstanding, but screenshots don't lie. Everyone knew, even her boss, well, ex-boss now, was suspended after the company got the evidence. I didn't go looking for revenge. Life handled that part for me. 2 weeks later, I received an envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. From Amanda. It read, "Thank you for helping me find the truth. I hope you find peace. You deserve better. No signature. Just that. And somehow that meant more than any apology my wife could ever give. These days, I've learned that peace isn't quiet. It's honest. It's knowing you faced the storm and didn't let it break you. It's walking away from lies and choosing yourself instead. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is simple. Stay with him. You're single." Outro. YouTube voiceover style. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you've ever been through betrayal, remember this. You don't need to fight for someone who doesn't fight for you. Sometimes walking away is the win. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if this story hit home. I'll see you in the next one.